Your clients are already looking for additional ways to lower energy costs, and you could be the person that brings them community solar. My name is Dakota Knuckles-Malone. I co-founded Community Solar Authority. We've unlocked access to over $50 million in future energy savings through working with some of the smartest energy advisors and companies in the United States. We help fortunes, corporations, big businesses, municipalities, school districts, and large energy users understand community solar. In this video, we will review what it is, how it works, some of the math behind it, and ultimately, why do it at all. To get started, let's talk about what our partnership actually does. First of all, it is the easiest way to add additional value to your clients. Again, they get access to lower energy costs on a $0 CapEx without installing solar. You get paid a revenue share, thus the revenue share blueprint, and we fill our solar projects, which is what we dub as triple win synergy. This is the idea that you can bring additional value to your clients in a very simple way and get paid to do it. Next, the whole piece to our partnership is that you are only responsible for introducing our team to your clients. You are the connector. As the energy advisor, it is your job to improve their energy strategy and make sure that it is a headache-free experience. And by partnering with us on the community solar side, you can confidently go to your clients and essentially say, hey, I have an additional way to help you save more money on your electricity costs. We partner with this firm, Community Solar Authority. They've done all of this work with large energy users in Illinois, and I think it's worth a conversation. It is a huge benefit that our team delivers all of the work. You get to stay involved, but with minimizing your internal resources. This is important because we have the exact system to get them access to community solar, and you have a core focus, which is either procurement, sustainability, etc. However, you're normally helping your client. And again, your client gets access to lower energy costs for years to come, and you're getting paid a revenue share while looking like a hero for bringing your client additional value. All right, so now let's talk about how the revenue share actually works. We get paid a fee based on the amount of solar we deploy access to. So simply put, the larger the community solar subscription, the more we get paid. And so you introduce us to the client, our team does all of the work, and then when we get paid, we send you a check for a cut of the revenue. This is significant because I'm not talking about a fixed commission that you earn. You're sharing in all of the upside. And that's why we love working with the largest energy users to help them access community solar, because that is where meaningful revenue is found. And so what this translates to, you now have the opportunity to add additional value to your clients, but you also have a way to make them worth more and generate a ton of extra upside, again, without any work. I will now give you some real world numbers. It is May of 26, so Q2, and we already have partners who have generated over $1 million in additional revenue through our community solar partnership. We partner with some of the largest ESCOs in the country, some of the most significant energy procurement shops, and also smart individual brokers who understand how to use community solar. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that you will generate millions of dollars in revenue with our partnership, but the bigger book of business that you have in our eligible community solar markets, and the more you can work alongside of us to build out a strategy to scale, you can use community solar to not only generate additional dollars, but the goodwill that you add to your clients will also turn into more money. And I will show you that in a real example in a little bit. All right, allow me to get into the math behind your deal flow. Here's the easiest way to generate an additional $100,000 in revenue share in under 90 days using our community solar partnership. Sometimes our strategic partners will bring us one client that's spending an absurd amount of money on electricity. Other times, they'll bring us 10 clients using a normal amount of energy. Either way, 10 megawatts equals conservatively $100,000 of revenue share in under 90 days. Now think about what just happened. You found a way to add additional value to your clients, and you found a way to make them worth more without adding any additional work. All of a sudden, the question that I ask is what becomes possible? You now have additional dollars to grow your business, spend on marketing, etc. And you have all of these new good news stories to talk about. Here's how we helped this client save a bunch of money with community solar. Here's a press release that we just did. And all of a sudden, your brand is becoming more elevated as a result of working with Community Solar Authority. Next, I want to talk about what our ideal client profile is in the state of Illinois for anchor tenants. So here's a quick rundown. What we're looking for are Ameren or ComEd customers. Okay, both of those utilities participate in the Community Solar program. We're looking for a minimum spend of $250,000 a year. And honestly, the reason why this is so low compared to our average clients is because we love to work with public school districts, which aren't always the biggest energy users, but we love helping them improve their energy budget to improve the lives of students. In fact, we've worked with over 30 of them in the state of Illinois, along with higher education, universities, etc. And that's a huge piece to our mission. All right, so next, we are looking for an organization that can provide creditworthiness docs, meaning if they're a public company, we're reviewing financials. If they are a private company, we are asking for their financials, or if they're a municipality, school district, hospital, we're looking for a creditworthiness report. The reason this is important is because a ton of community solar portfolios are financed by having a solid, stable, typically investment grade anchor in place. I recently wrote an article on why community solar works in Illinois for large energy users. This is a huge piece to the reason why, but if you want to check that article out, or in the podcast, or on our YouTube, you can go to those respective channels. We're also looking for 12 months of utility bills for every account we're enrolling. Sometimes it is a huge lift and a pain to ask clients to be able to do this. This is why we rely on their energy advisors to be able to support. And if not, our team does all of the work, again, to make sure that we can get the deal done. A note here that multi-locations are okay. In fact, the deal that I'm going to talk about as a case study today was a result of 400 plus locations across the state of Illinois. So if it is a large energy user spread across many locations, that's perfectly fine with us. And then lastly, they actually need to be able to benefit from community solar. Sometimes it's not a good fit for their energy strategy, and if that's the case, we will be sure to tell them that. It is more important for us to work with the right organizations on community solar than try to just shove them through the pipeline and give them something that doesn't work for them. As we continue to work together, you'll understand what we mean by that, but these are the qualifying factors to access community solar as an anchor tenant in the state of Illinois. All right, so let me tell you about the $1 million case study. I just shared how to make $100,000 in under 90 days using our community solar partnership, but I want to tell you a story about how someone did 10 times that last year and generated $1 million in revenue share just for introducing us to their client. Last year, we worked with Fortune 500 Casey's, so Casey's General Stores, and these are gas stations across the state of Illinois and beyond, but we were working on their Illinois portfolio. Casey's was spending millions of dollars a year on energy across all of their locations, and they were looking for ways to access lower energy costs. We worked with one of their energy advisors who had control over a portion of their total spend, and we did a community solar rollout to ultimately help Casey's save over $1 million per year without spending any money and without installing solar. This is going to result in tens of millions of dollars in savings across the next decade. And ultimately, Casey's, through their energy advisor, found an additional way to lower energy costs. What I wanted to bring back from earlier is that because our strategic partner was the one to deliver community solar, Casey's then turned around and gave him a shot at winning the rest of their energy portfolio for procurement. So he helped them save with community solar. He made over $1 million in revenue share as a result of it, but then he also used it to win more business and keep their business longer. And this is super important because this is the power of value add. It's not just helping them with community solar and making money from community solar, but it is what you do with that value add. What do you do after you look like a hero? How do you begin to have additional conversations with those same clients that you just helped as a way to either say, hey, let's extend your energy contract, or hey, give me a shot at some more of the portfolio, or hey, do you know anybody else who would be interested in working with me doing something similar? So you can generate referrals, you can keep contracts longer, and you can win new business all through using our community solar partnership. Here is the value prop of working with Community Solar Authority. I'll explain it like this. There are multiple players in the community solar space. You have financiers, which are the banks that are delivering finances to build these projects. You have the developers who are actually building the solar project. You have the asset managers, which are the ones similar to a property manager on a piece of real estate. They are the property manager or subscriber manager to community solar participants. And then you have consultants like our team who work directly with these developers and their financiers to help fill their projects with large energy users. If you have a book of business and you want to get them full access to community solar, meaning most likely multiple solar projects, our team has access to some of the most diverse community solar pipelines at a national level when it comes to anchor tenants. Our firm is hired by these developers in good faith from our brand, from our track record, from our experience, that we can fill their pipeline with long-term, stable, investment-grade anchor off-takers. Together, we can create triple win synergy, and ultimately, you can access something that you just won't find anywhere else. Another huge value prop, obviously, being the revenue share. If you go and partner with other community solar companies, they are going to give you a capped commission based on a limited availability of solar. We want everybody to participate in community solar. But if you want to do it big, if you want to do it at scale, and if you want to generate millions of dollars like some of our other partners have, then you need to partner with us. If you want to partner with us, you actually have to apply. And the reason why is we want to make sure that you're a good fit for our brand. We want to make sure that you're in it for a long-term relationship. We're not looking for fly-by-night companies. We're not looking for short-term money. And we want to partner with people who actually share our values. This is why we partner with the A-plus players in the space, from some of the largest energy suppliers to some of the most recognized energy procurement shops and some of the smartest energy advisors. If you think you're one of them, we want to invite you to apply to do a pilot deal together. You help us get introduced to your client. Our team will do all of the work. You'll see that you get paid. You'll see how the process works. And ultimately, we'll see if you like working with us. And as long as you do, we will invite you on to become a long-term strategic partner and build you a 90-day roadmap to ultimately generate $100,000 in those first 90 days. Here's a quick recap of how that pilot deal works. You work with our team to submit an intake form so we have all of the right information and can build a utility audit. Our team will then go and figure out what amount of spend actually qualifies for community solar, and then we will turn that into a proposal for your client. We will all get on the phone or a Zoom with your client and walk them through Q&A, getting educated, and ultimately what their proposal does. Next, we will make sure that gets completed, whether we have to show up to a board meeting or we have to meet with stakeholders or we have to get the executive suite involved. Our team is routinely doing that with all of our clients, and our executive team actually hand tailors these community solar rollouts so you're in good hands. So again, you work with our team, you introduce us to the client, we do all of the work, and when we get paid, you get paid. If you've watched this video this long and you've figured out that you want to partner with Community Solar Authority, then I encourage you to apply. You can go to communitysolarauthority.com/partner and book a call directly with our head of partnerships, and they will walk you through exactly how this works, and we'll be able to get your process started. Typically, we start by signing an MNDA, putting our partner agreements in place so that you feel comfortable sharing information, you know you're going to get paid, and then we launch it. That is the revenue share blueprint. That's how you add additional value to your customers without having them spend any additional dollars, without having to install solar on site, and without wasting your internal resources. Our team's unlocked access to over $50 million doing this. We've been in business for over 8 years at this point, and we want to partner with smart people like you to be able to deliver access to community solar to ultimately meet our mission, which is the nationwide adoption of the program. Thank you guys for tuning into this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/in/Dakota Malone. Subscribe to the channel, and we will catch you on the next video.